Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, the internet, and welcome back to my channel. Where to start? I did not catch up on many comics this week. I kept to one full run, one story arc, and it was Heroes in Crisis. The entire story has just finished, I think a few weeks ago, and like a lot of these big event arcs, I don't like to read them as a month-on-month basis. This one in particular took 9 months to do. I prefer to read them all in one go, and I think reading it in one go is probably the best option, especially for this particular arc. There's a lot to unpack. Overall, I thought it was quite strong. It was really good. There's some drawbacks to it. I'm not going to go through each individual issue, and talk about any issues. I'll just talk about it as a whole. So written by Tom King, fantastically. He's been doing a fantastic job with Batman. I've heard so many good things about Vision, Mr. Miracle. Unfortunately, his run on Batman is coming to a close, and he's not going to be doing that 100 arc series of Batman that he was going to do. I think it's stopping at 85. And then I believe he's doing a 12 arc miniseries with Batman Catwoman, which is going to be interesting. However, Heroes in Crisis, the big drawback for me, I think, in this entire run is some of the artwork. Some of the artwork is absolutely fantastic. It's incredibly detailed, spot on with the characters. But then you have other panels. There is a panel in, I think, issues 6 or 7, where Flash is running back and forth between the countries trying to find a few characters. I'm not going to say who. And he's running all around the world back and forth to the Batcave. And the way that Batman's portrayed is a bit sloppy. It wasn't as strong as the comic as a whole, and that's a shame. It really is, because it kind of brought me out of it a little bit. But overall, very, very strong. It was, the whole premise to it is the heroes go through so much in their lifetime that they need a place for therapy, which, fantastic concept, amazing, really good. I think I could have read an entire run of just about the issues and the problems that the heroes have. This is that with a murder story written in as well. And I think the way that they portray some of the characters, you get a front-facing persona of so many characters. They go through all of them talking about their issues, and a couple of them I think are incredibly strong, and I'd love to know if they end up carrying these out throughout the individual issues. You've got Hal Jordan at one point just saying, let's face it, what is will? And obviously that is a fundamental aspect of his character. He is only as strong as his will. So if you've got him questioning his own will, he's not strong anymore. So that one panel, just fantastic. I thought it was incredibly strong. You've got all of the Robins, Nightwing, Red Robin, they're all talking about each other, Red Hood as well, all talking about each other, complimenting each other, and they're also the same thing of, but what am I? And again, I think that's a fantastic thing that'd be really interesting to see in Detective Comics. All of these different variations of Robin actually just trying to find their own personal identity. They've all had the Robin identity, but obviously it gets to them to the point where they don't feel like they've got their own. And so yeah, it's I'd compare it to one of my favourite films is Frost Nixon, and it's, for me, an incredibly powerful film, and it's just about Richard Nixon and David Frost sitting down talking. No action or anything, it's just dialogue. And it's incredibly intense. And for me, this is that kind of story. It's incredibly intense with the dialogue. It's incredibly intense with what the heroes are going through. And I honestly, I could have had that throughout the entire run without the murder story. In terms of that aspect of things, handled incredibly well. Incredibly well. For people that are long-time DC connoisseurs, if you will, they might not be as happy. I think it could be the end of a certain character. Again, not going to say who. I don't want to spoil anything because this is a great read. It really is, and I don't want to ruin that for anyone. If it doesn't have lasting effects on the DC universe, I would be shocked. I really would be. I can understand if people may get a little bit annoyed with the use of that character for this, you know, being the culprit of the murders, and the way that this character deals with it, with everything after. And I was a little bit confused, a little bit angry to start with when I first found out. But again, Tom King's writing, after you find out, when it goes through that, it's so well written, so powerful, that even that is handled delicately and well. And when it was wrapped up, I just thought, no, actually it's still quite powerful, and it is a good read overall. So I haven't read much other than that whole arc. I'm still waiting for Doomsday Clock to finish until I read through all of that. But what I wanted to do is just show you a couple of my favourite comics, just to show you hope you get a feel for the things that I like. So, first one on my list is, there it is. It's Dark Knight Returns, The Last Crusade. It is Frank Miller's Dark Knight universe, and it's the death of the family story arc of that universe. I think it's incredibly well told. Miller has been very hit and miss lately, but him and Azzarello have done a fantastic job on that. All-Star Batman by Zack Snyder and John Romita Jr. That was the first comic that I actually got signed by both writer and artist, and for that it holds a special place in my heart. And also, it's an amazing storyline, it really is. Die, issue 1, signed by Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans. Again, an amazing story, just absolutely fantastic, and I love the artwork through it. Moving on, we've got X-Men #1, the 90s print, written by Chris Claremont, and I'm very lucky to have it signed by him as well. I've been very lucky and very fortunate to meet some people and have them sign my comics, so I feel very blessed about that. Cosmic Ghost Rider. You all know, for those of you who've been following, I'm a big fan of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. This is his solo miniseries. There was 5 of them. Issue 1, signed by writer and artist Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. Incredibly lovely people. Again, I've just been very lucky. Darth Vader. Now, I absolutely had to buy this just because I met David Prowse, who is Darth Vader. Not the voice, the man himself. So I love the fact that I've got a Darth Vader comic signed by him. Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 361. It is the first appearance of Carnage. Carnage is one of my favourite characters, so yeah, I had to have that. Now, this is Amazing Spider-Man number 800. Now, I saw this artwork and thought it was absolutely stunning. I really did. And this is John Romita Sr. And that will be going up on the wall. All of these will probably be going up on a wall at some point soon. Ultimate Spider-Man. That's a graded one of 2 gradeds that I've got in my collection. Graded as a 9.2, signed by Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley. This was the comic that really got me into comics as a whole. Loved the entire run, and I thought Bendis had just an amazing eye for detail when it comes to the Spider-Man mythos. I think he did a fantastic job. And my absolute favourite of my entire collection, this is Amazing Spider-Man #1. There's not much to say about that. I still love looking at it, I really do. And luckily I was incredibly lucky to meet Stan Lee, and it is signed by Stan Lee himself. A lot of people might get annoyed by that. That's the original Amazing Spider-Man that I had open, unslabbed, for it signed by Stan Lee, but I had to. It's an original, and to have it signed by the man himself is it's just amazing, and I feel incredibly lucky to have it. Anyway, that is what I've been reading, and that is my grails, as it were, in my collection. Let me know what you think of Heroes in Crisis, if you've read Heroes in Crisis, or if you've read anything else this week. Or let me know what your favourite comics are. Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time.